across the plains. WCBH is on the go. Join us as we walk the Camino.
Today was day 39, about 10 kilometres from Fonfria to Triacastela, deliberately planned as a shorter day. I woke up this morning about 5:30 and heard rain, and this is on the back of you seeing some clouds yesterday and saying those clouds look suspicious after we had weeks and weeks and weeks of very fine weather.
Oh, so I jinxed it?
Well, you've been telling me all the time that I'm going to jinx the weather, yet you're the one who spots one skerrick of a cloud in the sky and says that cloud looks suspicious, and then the next day it's raining.
Well, I actually checked the weather forecast because I know the region we're in is known for rain.
Mm-hmm. We're in the Galician region now?
Yes, and I remember our trip last time where we copped 4 days of rain. So I knew there was some light rain on the way, and this morning it was very light. It was like a drizzle, it was fine, but we actually left in between two big showers. So the people who left before us copped a big downpour, and I'm sure the people who came after got a larger downpour, but we had good walking with only light rain.
Yeah, we did. It must be like day 4 or day 5 that we've had to have the wet weather gear on for 39 days. I think that's a fairly exceptional strike rate. And only a short day meant that we weren't going to be sort of in the wet weather gear all day like we had been earlier in the walk, because the wet weather gear, it really does, it's just plastic. So it's hot. And I find it heavy, etc. So it was nice that it was only a fairly short walk today. Buying the wet weather gear, we watched a whole lot of YouTube videos, and there are two types of people.
Yes.
Poncho people.
Yes.
And people who buy wet weather
rain gear, rain pants and jacket.
Yeah. So we went the pants and the jacket. We did see a couple out on the track today in their ponchos. And what was happening to their ponchos?
Well, it just confirmed our choice to have the rain pants and the jacket, because they were struggling to put the poncho on, and once it was on, it was just flying everywhere. So they were getting soaked anyway.
It was very windy. We're coming off the alto of up there at Fonfria and working our way down with all that wind. So our wet weather gear performed well today. Now we're very much back in cattle country.
Yes.
And we got to walk through some farms today, and sometimes we were walking past a paddock, sometimes we were walking past a shed with cattle in it, but we actually got to walk on the path with the cattle today, because the path is the road, and the road runs through the village, and the paddock at the top of the hill is owned by the same person as the paddock down the bottom of the hill, and they will want to move their livestock around as they see fit, and that's what happened. We saw a piece of string. We thought, what's going on here? And then next thing you know, there would be, I don't know, a dozen or so cows walking down the hill, and we sort of came in behind them and then stopped again, and then the bull came out of the next paddock, who was very big and muscular.
He was very big.
He had his eye on a few of those cows.
Well, it was funny. It was quite cute because the cows were herded down, and we were laughing because the shepherd was giving a few whacks to get them moving, because they wanted to eat everything on the side of the path. And they stopped by the paddock where the bull was, and they all turned and looked at him and stopped and looked at her like, let him out. It was cute. It was.
And when we got into town today, I ordered a steak.
Oh, well, yes, you did. Poor cows. But no, that was very cool to see them being herded down the lanes into their new paddock. And They were very calm and very well behaved, except for trying to eat everything.
And we were trying to describe just between ourselves what the roads were like. So the road is almost cut away into the earth, and then you've got these walls or parts of the earth that sort of like a V shape from the path going up. And then part of it's like old stone rock wall, a lot of trees, a lot of undergrowth that's covering it. The trees are covered in ivy. The rocks in the trees are covered in moss and other climbers. Very, very beautiful and green. In fact, we even described it like that scene in Lord of the Rings in the Fellowship of the Ring where Frodo, Sam, Pip and Merry are hiding underneath the roots of the tree and the ring wraiths are sort of looking down and over. I even tried to recreate that scene today.
Yes, because we found a tree that looked very similar with a hollow beneath, and we said, oh, this could be a scene from Lord of the Rings. But it's very much Lord of the Rings country where we are at the moment.
And that's how beautiful the countryside is, and we've got that for the next few days. Tomorrow we will make it into Saria.
Yes, we will.
Saria will have a rest day, and then can you believe it? 6 more days of walking until we're in Santiago.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to believe because when we started out, we'd look at 700 odd kilometres and be like, oh, this is going to take forever to come down. But since the 200 kilometre mark, it's just felt like it's been going so quickly.
We're at about 140 now.
Yes, we're around that, I think.
Yeah, it has been going down quickly. Chan, what was it like walking behind those big cows and bulls?
Well, it felt like we were walking with cows, and I felt like that they were going to run up to us, but they got whipped, like they were going to get, like,
The farmer had a stick, didn't they?
yes.
And they weren't getting hit hard. They were just an occasional tap on the bum to say, keep walking that way, don't turn around. But that was fun.
Yeah.
And you said hopefully we get to see that more in the next couple of days, maybe with some sheep as well.
Sheep, but then I thought with the stinky pigs.
Oh, the pigs are a bit stinky, aren't they? But I think the next couple of days is definitely going to be through cattle country. And hopefully when we wake up tomorrow, it's a fine day. Now, we're actually staying in an old jail.
We are.
So the lady who checked us in said, oh, okay, the building that you're staying in is the old pilgrims' jail because the pilgrims would get themselves in a little bit of strife and then get locked up for the night, and then they must be released the next day or the next few days to continue their journey. So it has been renovated quite nicely, but we're in an old jail. That's pretty cool.
It's very cool, and the lady was showing us the original door. Front door is still there, the wooden door downstairs. And so she was saying she was taking us to our cell, which is a very nice cell. If you were being locked up for a while, that would be quite all right.
So the cell comes with a Netflix account and YouTube.
Yes,
and
nice hot shower.
So what do you got there? How many kilometres have we got to go?
So on the Camino app, we have officially 131.4 kilometres left, and we've completed 82.9%. We have walked 635 kilometres.
And the maths doesn't always add up based on, the signs, etc. We've only got a few more squares left in our credential to fill up, and then that will be full, and then we'll be getting stamps on the front and back cover as well. So, yeah, we're fingers crossed we have a good final week and a bit to get to Santiago.
Fingers crossed.
What's your plan for Saria?
My plan for Saria?
Just chill, relax.
Oh, most definitely. Sleep in, relax, just doing nothing, I think.
Sounds good. All right, well, tomorrow we pick the kilometres back up again around the 20 mark, but it will get us into Saria, and then it's the home stretch.
The rain in Spain stays mainly in the Step by step through the sun and rain, over mountains, across the plains. WCBH is on the go. Join us as we walk the Camino.